Hello, my name is Stuart. I'm the Unrepentant Atheist, and today what I want to do is present some statistics which I've been researching on the internet, basically about religiosity and trends. So I'm going to be looking at USA and the UK. As you may well be aware, the UK is quite a bit more secular than the USA. Nevertheless, after the research that I've done, it looks to me like the trend away from religiosity is quite clear to see. So I've been making videos recently arguing that it's important to keep pushing to keep this trend going away from religiosity and religious belief and religion too. I can't say that we as atheists on YouTube are going to take credit for what's happening, because this shift was already going on even before the internet arrived. But nevertheless, every little counts. So let's just go on to the studies. I'll tell you what my sources are, which is important, and I'm going to post the links to them. So for the UK study, it's on the humanist.uk website. Obviously, secular organisation which is against. It seems to have its main focus against faith schools in the UK, and there's quite a campaign going on at the moment. That's another matter. There are a lot of faith schools in the UK. They get public funding and they discriminate against people who are not religious, and that's obviously wrong. So they're doing good work there, and in fact I need to read up on that just to see whether maybe I can get involved with that, because I don't support it. So they are taking their data from a survey done in 2014, the British Social Attitudes Survey. So for the American, it's the Pew Research Center, and they commissioned a study which was done in 2021. So in fact they're more up to date, but I can't find any more recent figures for the UK. There may well be some, but nevertheless it seems like this is quite a large reputable study and it's worth looking at. So just some findings then, for just some basic figures so that we can see. So the USA, for example, just to illustrate what's happening to Christianity in particular in the USA, because let's be honest that America is largely obviously a Christian country, but these figures do demonstrate that Christianity is declining in America. So what we've got is that in 2007 there was a study which showed that 78% of Americans identified as being Christians. In 2021 that figure was 63%. So we can see that it has declined quite considerably from 78 to 63% in just 14 years. That's I think that's quite a significant shift. And for another group that they call nons, in other words, those like myself who don't identify with any religion, we've got in 2007 16% of the USA population considered themselves not to be religiously affiliated, and in 2021 that figure had grown to 29%. So there's no doubt that there's no doubt in what the trend is, and it will be very interesting to see what the figures are, say, in 7 years' time, because at that kind of rate in America we will reach the stage where it's 50-50 between those who are Christians and those who are not religiously affiliated, which could be significant, because at the moment, for example, in America it's pretty hard to get elected as president, or in any position I suppose, unless you're a professing Christian. I use the word professing advisedly because obviously one can say one is a Christian for electoral purposes, but privately could be an atheist. It's not difficult to be a Christian. All you've got to do is turn up at church occasionally, take communion, recite the Nicene Creed, and say that you believe Jesus is the Son of God and that he's your Saviour. It really is very easy to pretend to be a Christian, and I've got no doubt that many American leaders, actually I think that George Bush was really truly a Christian, but some of the others possibly not. Obama, somehow I doubt it. You know, particularly as the Bible has been used to back up slavery and all sorts of atrocities against black people. Probably unlikely that a man like Obama is truly a Christian, but of course he would say that he is, otherwise you just never get elected. It's just the way it goes. Okay, so that's the trend in America. We can see the trend is quite clearly away from Christianity. Fewer people are believing this nonsense, and you know, it's something to be celebrated. And in the UK it's a similar story. So in let's say in 2013, let's compare with America just so we can see how much more secular or say non-Christian the UK is. So the Christianity rate in 2013 for the UK population was 41.7%. So compare that with the 2021 figure for America, which is 63. So there's almost a 50% more Americans by percentage are Christians compared with the UK. I suspect it, obviously in the UK that figure will have declined even more, and let's just say that at the rate of decline that we've got, because in 1983 in the UK through the census the figure was 65.2% Christianity rate in the UK. 1983 it declined into 2013 to 41.7%. So we can see quite a significant decline there, and there's probably little reason to believe that the decline will not continue. And in reality, 41.7 now, let's just say maybe it's 38%, and that's against at the moment in America we've got 63% rate of Christianity. So in the UK it's nearly, should we say, half what it is in America. Europe is far more secular, we know that. America's a strange one because obviously it's an advanced economy, richest country in the world, and yet there's a relatively high rate of religiosity in Christianity. So yeah, definite trend there. So some more sort of interesting figures. Well, some comments about America first of all from the study which I've read. The biggest decline in Christianity rates are among Protestant Christians, and in the study they're saying that the Catholics have held strong, relatively strong. The decline has been very, very small in those who are Catholics. The decline in the percentage who profess to be Catholics is actually quite small, but in the Protestants it's much greater. Huge decline in the number of Protestants. Why that would be, maybe you've got some ideas. I mean, that's something for another study. I can think of some off the top of my head, but I'm not going to say what they are. Prayer, this is an interesting one. In America, the Pew Research Center, same thing. Daily prayer declined from 58% in 2007 to 45% in 2021. Now I'd just like to say that I think that quite possibly those who profess to pray daily is potentially lower than what these figures state. And in fact, the humanist organization in the UK did say about the figures for church attendance, which I'm going to come to in a moment, that the figures are actually in all likelihood lower than people actually say. In other words, people are falsely claiming that they attend church when they don't. Why they would do that? Well, they probably, well, maybe they don't like admitting that, you know, they're Christians and yet they don't go to church that often. But that's sort of speculative on my part, and I probably shouldn't have said it. Don't take that into consideration, because these figures speak for themselves. There's no need to add to them, but it's just a sort of amusing thing for me to ponder and speculate over. So church attendance of those who profess to be Christians in 2013, Church of England, in the UK, only 10.7% said that they'd attend church at least once a week. So only 1 in 10 who say they're Church of England Christians in the UK are actually attending church, and that's quite a low number, really. And the Church of England's own attendance figures bear out this decline, or bear out the fact that it is relatively low. From 1968 to 2013, the Church of England's own attendance figures demonstrate that church attendance halved. It fell by 50% between 1968 and 2013, so fewer people are attending church, and those who are attending are in older age groups. So we see those who profess to be Christians among 18 to 24 year olds is only 30.7%. Religious affiliation, let me widen that out. So those who've got any kind of religious affiliation among 18 to 24 year olds, only 30.7% in 2013, and it's over 50% for over 55s. So obviously that's no big surprise that older people are more likely to have an affiliation to a religion. That's probably not too much of a surprise. And speaking personally, the last time I went to church is when I lived in an English village, and my wife's a Christian, or my ex-wife's a Christian, and she felt that we should get involved with the local community, and the hub of that local community was the village church, and they were lovely people, very nice people, but you know, we went on a Sunday service. We didn't go for that long, actually. We only went for a few months and then we stopped. But while I was there, I was able to observe that the average attendance in that village, it's a village of 5,000 people, and the average Sunday attendance was about 50, just 50. And then there was the priest, the organist, and then there was what was he? A visiting archdeacon or something like that. I don't know. There were 1 or 2 other sort of officials. Oh, and there was a church choir, of course. Okay, make it 60. So there was about, if you include all the people who were running the church, there was about 60. And this church had a capacity of about 400 people, and the village was 5,000 strong. There was a Methodist church too in the parish. I think they had very low attendance too, maybe just 20 or 30 people. So even then, we're talking about, this was 10 years ago, the attendance that I witnessed was quite low. Of course, you're probably thinking, what were you, an atheist, doing in church? Well, obviously, I've already explained that. My wife was a Christian, and I felt that I should go to church with her. I mean, we went as a family, me, her, and my son, and it wasn't a big deal for me then, because I wasn't as big an atheist as I am now. You know, I'm more not believe now. I'm more a disbeliever now than I was. I mean, I was a disbeliever then, but probably on a point of principle now, I would not want to go. Partly because I felt that in a way I was intruding. I mean, they say the Nicene Creed, which, you know, in fact, I'm going to do something on the Nicene Creed, because obviously it's a statement of their faith, and it's got a lot in it, and I think it's worth looking at. So I kept my mouth shut when they were reciting the Nicene Creed. I did not take communion, of course, because that would be completely ridiculous. I did sing hymns. Obviously I didn't pray, but when the prayers came along, I very respectfully stood and sort of folded my hands in front of myself and tried to be respectful. But the main point is that nearly all of them were over 60 years old. So I did wonder what would happen to this church. Actually, people were dying off when I was there. We lost 3 or 4 parishioners while I was actually there, and I didn't really see them being replaced. So in that particular parish, you know, when most of them died off, I wonder who would take their places. So, well, but the point is about all this is that religion is already declining. We're doing what I think is a fairly reasonable job here out on YouTube. We're chipping away all the time, and society is doing the rest of it. One can sort of speculate on the reasons why there's this shift away from religion. That's something which I'd rather not go into because I haven't done the study on it. Maybe you've got some ideas yourself, but from my point of view, and obviously the Atheist channel which I've got, and all the other secular humanism channels, and the Atheist Experience, critical thinking channels, is all a positive pressure for good in reducing the amount of religiosity that we've got. Because, as you know, I don't believe that religion is necessary. I believe that it's got no justified basis, and I believe it does a lot of harm in the world. Yeah, sure, it may do some good as well. I don't deny that. They've done charitable deeds. They support people through the community, but you don't need all the baggage. You don't need the beliefs in supernatural things and all the rest of it. It's unnecessary. Millions of people around the world don't believe in God. They get on quite happily with their lives, honestly. So that's about it. Obviously, just to sum up, that religiosity is on its way down and secularism is on its way up, and that has got to be a good thing, a great thing to celebrate, but let's keep working at it. There's a long way to go. Okay, bye for now.